Before we get going, let's do a quick round of shares. So if you've had a win from the previous week or weeks, we've obviously been off for a little while with the holidays. So if you've had any wins over the holidays that you want to share, that could be getting a new piece of copy out, could be a split test that you won, could be getting a new client if you're a freelancer, could be a breakthrough you had recently. Feel free to unmute yourself, hop on, and share your win right now.
Yo.
We just started and we're gonna do some sharing of the wins right now.
Perfect.
Anybody want to go first? Anybody want to be brave?
The last couple weeks, holiday wins. Anything good?
I can jump in and share one.
Sweet.
So we in December we ran a couple different offers to our email lists, and we had two of our best days in terms of number of sales. So that was a bit of a win for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. What were they your best days in December or just ever in general?
Just ever. Yeah. Best days ever.
That's great.
Yeah.
Was that post Christmas or before Christmas?
It was before Christmas.
Wow, that's even crazier because that's it's like the black hole of sales.
Exactly, and normally December is our lowest month, so it was a nice little boost.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, one thing that is funny, I've noticed this too, where I've had some really good days in December as well. Even with my my Holy Land Health stuff back in the day, I guess it was like December of 2016, and we are on Facebook, and it's like at the time our best month ever. So it can be hit or miss, but I definitely think a pet peeve of mine is when people are like, "Well, it's December, I won't even try," because it's like then there are randomly you hear stuff like this where people just have a great December. So that's really huge. Good job, guys. That's really good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and jump in with one real quick if I can. I'm actually at Walmart.
Nice.
I'm at Walmart in Puerto Rico because there's been a bunch of earthquakes and all the power's out the entire island. So we're stocking up on water and stuff like that right now. So I figured since I was in air conditioning and inside Walmart, I'd hop on the call real quick. Sweet. But just wanted to share a pretty awesome win. I think last time I shared a win, it was about an upsell on the guitar offer for the membership. It was upsell number one. And at the time, I think it was converting at 31%. So I changed two things, two very small things that boosted upsell conversions. They were holding steady at 58% for a while. And then now, depending on the traffic source, they're around 45 to mid 50s, up to 60 sometimes. But I don't know, pretty happy with that. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I would hope.
Yeah.
What
right now I'm just kind of.
What'd you change, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, no worries. And I apologize. I'm a little distracted just because the ground's shaking every now and then. But got to stock up on some stuff so I can write some emails,
Yeah.
But anyway, what did I change? So the first thing I changed wasn't in the upsell at all. I changed the name of the core offer. So originally it was like, just as an example, it was something, what was it? It was called Guitar Grid Mastery 101. I have this concept called the Guitar Grid. So it was called Guitar Grid Mastery 101. And then the upsell was called, it's a premium offer for like the big version of the course when they join the membership. And it was called Ultimate Guitar Grid Mastery. And I came up with that name after I surveyed the list. But after talking to a few people, I noticed that, they were saying like, well, Guitar Grid Mastery 101, first of all, the mastery is a little bit redundant, and mastery and 101 don't really go together. So I just changed it to Guitar Grid 101. And refunds, I've had 0 refunds since then. And the upsells have jumped up to, literally like double in some cases. And the other thing I changed was, since the core offer is like a splintered off piece of the upsell offer, I changed the upsell to make it look like there's a credit. So they get a credit for the core offer that they just bought. When in reality, they don't. I just, made it look like that. So whenever they get to the price section, it says you get a credit, and there's like a double price strikeout. But just those two things.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That that's a hell of a take rate on an upsell.
Yeah, cool.
Nice,
Thanks.
man.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Anyone else got any? I mean, I saw Mattia that he was happy he finished the third version of the red light lamps VSL, ready to go mainstream. Mattia, I'm expecting you to just be fucking yoked when we see you in Vegas at the end of February, because I was reading the copy yesterday and it sounds like, short of doping, or maybe better than doping. So, I mean, I think you're going to be tanner than Justin and probably, more red when Justin's a little more of a glow. But I expect you to have some pretty big muscles. You'll really be swole too. So. Mattia's like, all right, great. Anybody else have any ones they want to share? You guys want me to? I'll share a couple.
I guess I have a minor one.
Yeah.
So I sent off the whole funnel, VSL, upsell, downsell for this water enhancer offer that I was working on in December. And I was flying back from Hartford, where I'm originally from, on Saturday. And it was like, I guess it was like 5:30, 5:45 in the morning Pacific time. And I got an email from the client, just no notes at all. He's like, this is amazing, with all like exclamations. We're ready to start building out the funnel. He's excited. The team's excited. I'm excited. I was not expecting that. But I followed, at least tried to follow RMBC, and the sales letter outline as closely as humanly possible. And they were just like, oh yeah, this is great. Let's just get started on building out the funnel. So it's just a testament to your system, Stefan. And once everything launches, I'll be sure to just shameless plug. Be sure to report back on stats and the data.
Awesome, man. That's great. Yeah, really good job there. It's always so nice when you don't get feedback from clients. That's awesome. I have a couple I can share, but does anyone else want to go? Before I go. Couple things for me. I've got I did an offer for Golden Hippo with Tony Horton as a spokesperson for P90X. Well, he's from P90X, but obviously this is for Golden Hippo. Tony was honestly pretty difficult to work with. And by the way, I have an NDA signed about this, but I think it's okay for the Copy Accelerator group, but let's not talk to you publicly about that. But he was just difficult to work with, and it took quite a while. But the offer finally went live and is testing, and it's starting to make up some sales. Very, very, very small scale. But I also have a really nice kind of bonus structure in place where, based on the what I get on the ad spend, like the ROI they get on ad spend, I can get some pretty significant bonuses. And so the fact that it's testing and making sales, and that it finally saw the light of day after, I think I delivered it to them in July. So, it's a little bit frustrating for it to take that long, but excited about that. So I'll keep you guys posted and eventually hopefully be able to share it with you. Finished the blood sugar thing for Lee Euler and Jeremy Hunsaker, which is my third thing I've written for them. And they both were had basically no comments, and were just this looks like a home run. So back to Sam's thing, that felt really good. Once the blood sugar thing is live, I'll share with you. I am still going to share the Beat Your Control thing I did for Genesis versus Dan's, which Dan found out about, and he was like, do we have a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson thing going on now? And I was like, I don't know. But also I think Dan, I don't know if he bought a ticket for the event yet, but I'm pretty sure he's coming to the event at the end of February. So it'll be really cool for you guys to get to hang out with him. And then third one is just one of the offers I have with Cody is this weight loss offer that was written by the guy who wrote Lift Factor, and I did copy sheet this one. Honestly, heavier than Lift Factor because he just had some parts that didn't follow RMBC, but it's looking really nasty so far. So just some wins to share, and again, I'll share all this copy with you guys. So going back to the fact that we want to practice what we preach and why you guys are here, I've got a bunch of cool stuff that's happening, and I'm really excited over the next few weeks, next month, to share all these sales letters with you guys and see some fresh stuff, and you can take what's working and apply it to your stuff as well.
Awesome. Let's jump into today's topic. So we're going to go over today's call. Will be pretty short, like some of the other ones that we've done on email. So we're doing shock-based and curiosity-based emails. There's really not a whole lot to explain with these, but we will. I'll go over as much as I can. Because they're pretty self-explanatory, but they work really, really well for certain offers. So I kind of want to go over it. So before I kind of dive in and show you why these work and how to do them and all that, let's kind of go over a couple of examples so that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So like I said, these can be used for affiliate swipes. They can be used for cold traffic lists. So if you're buying something on Newsmax or something like that, you could use them for that. Some of these I've shared before. This one I've definitely shared with you guys before. So 71-year-old woman poops out 48 pounds of stored fat using this unusual nutrient. So huge amount of curiosity, huge amount of shock. Just a very unique thing that you're not seeing that often. And then copy-wise, this is really just kind of a story-based one. So a shocking study done on an island in Japan reveals that more people who ate a certain dairy-based nutrient were able to poop out more fat. Instead of your body turning all that food you eat turn into stubborn rolls of fat, it could just slide out quickly and easily in the bathroom. Imagine not having to go to the gym to burn off fat or starving yourself on horrible diets that deprive you of food you really love, and instead pooping that fat out. Then you have a big button here to click for a video that has a kind of interesting image with this picture. You can effortlessly stay thin and healthy. One woman named Sharon already lost 48 pounds. She went on to reach her dream of being a national dancing champion at 71 years old. Another lost 10 dress sizes, and still another lost 38 pounds and has a body that is 20 years younger. See if pooping out fat could help you too. So super, like I said, very shock-based, curiosity. They're not really giving anything away here whatsoever. Just for like your reference, what this product is selling is a probiotic. So when they're talking about a certain dairy-based nutrient, like probiotics usually are dairy-based, that's literally what they're referring to. So as you can see, this whole thing is just curiosity-based. It's like trying to amp up the curiosity as much as possible to get you to click through. So look at one more. This one, super, super simple. These sometimes work for certain offers. Literally, there's nothing to this except a headline, a picture, and a link. So cancer docs are freaking out over this video. The images for these kind of creatives are what really make them work. And the difference between a really good image and kind of an average image can pretty much make or break a creative like this. So something like this, like I said, it can work, and we'll go over now like why these work sometimes, which kind of offers they actually work for, because there's certain offers that they do not work for. So let's look at why they work. We have big open rate, big click-through rate. If you get a really good curiosity-based email working, it'll send like 5 to 8 times the number of clicks as a normal email will. The conversions will be lower because you're sending clicks that aren't as qualified. You're just sending people through who want to click on it. But overall, the revenue is usually higher because you're sending so many damn people there. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, no? Can I get a thumbs up? Stefan, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think I agree. The challenge, there's a trade-off there because, like you said, like the conversion rate can be lower. But again, if you have like, 10x the clicks and your conversion rate is only half as good, like you still come out like way on top, So that makes sense. So no, totally, that makes sense.
Yep. So in my experience, the type of offers that these work for are offers where the VSL does all of the selling. So, and these types of offers work based upon, like if you have an offer that's working on native traffic where someone clicks on a banner, goes straight to the VSL goes straight to the VSL and that's converting, those types of offers will work with these curiosity shock-based ones. If you have an offer that's working on like, I don't know, display networks anywhere where someone's just literally clicking a banner and then coming to your VSL and that's actually converting, that same type of thing then will work here. I've tested a lot of these style emails. They tend to bomb with offers that need a pre-sell. So to give you an example, Patriot Power Greens when we were running that at full scale, that needed a really good email that kind of pre-sold it. Without the pre-sell, it never really worked. And when I tried these kind of like blind, curiosity-based, shock-based emails, they literally just did absolutely terrible for that offer, because that offer it wasn't complete enough. Like all the selling was not done on that page. I had to do some of the selling in the email before it. So for offers like that, they tend to not work. And in my experience, long-form text sales pages tend to not work as well on these kind of curiosity shock-based ones. I'm curious if anybody's seen differently, but the majority of traffic that I've run for either affiliate offers or for my own offers, it's almost always the long-form VSLs that these style emails work for.
Justin, why is it, do you think, that they don't work as well with TSLs?
Because people can skip around too much, especially if they're just clicking for like the shock value. And I mean, in reality, VSLs pull people in more, and they're more just kind of like zoned in. They have to watch the whole thing. Well, they don't have to watch the whole thing, but they have to watch in the order that you want them to watch. Whereas text sales letters, you don't really have that. Don't have that going on. So yeah, I mean, and there's more of a connection definitely on video sales letters, especially when they're done right. Look at Golden Hippos and some of the other people who do them really, really well. The connection there with the reader and the viewer is a lot different. So yeah, I think you can get a better bond with a really good VSL. And when someone's just clicking from a banner or an ad and they have no idea who you are, what you are, anything, you really need all of that kind of connection to make the sale. So then the last part here is what matters most on these. These are the three things that really matter in my opinion. 1, the subject line. 2, the uniqueness of the shock curiosity angle. And then 3 would be the picture in the email. So I got a bunch of examples here we're going to go over, and we'll kind of break these down. So I showed you this one. The subject line on this one is great. I remember the first time I saw this subject line, I was like, that's a home run. Like, it's one of those ones where you just see it and you're like, damn, I wish I would have thought of that, because it's a great hook. 71-year-old woman poops out 48 pounds of stored fat. It's kind of like a National Enquirer kind of headline almost. It just grabs you. You can't help but opening it. Such a kind of unique hook to it. This one, this could be a lot better. There is some curiosity there with the Lost World War II report, especially to kind of that market, which is probably older 60 and 70-year-old people who that type of thing would kind of appeal to them. This one is a similar example of that. If you look at both of these, you can just see the image is a real curiosity-based image with the play button that kind of urges you to click on it. This one, so new cancer penicillin saving hopeless patients, better than chemotherapy, full story inside. So super just short and just trying to get the click more than anything. We went over this one a couple of weeks ago, and I think this one is a great example of tying the curiosity and shock-based stuff in with something that's in the news. So if you can do that and layer those two together, I mean, that's even better. So this is a financial offer from Stansberry. The subject line is literally meet your next president, the female Obama. And it's actually the from name is female Obama. That alone to a kind of 50, 60, 70-year-old conservative audience is going to get a shitload of opens. That's piquing their curiosity to kind of the max. And the copy on this one, even as well, is really just curiosity and kind of blind. So you'll never believe who one expert believes will become the president in 2020. It's not Hillary, Elizabeth Warren, AOC, or even Michelle Obama. It's someone even worse. And if she wins, she'll take away our freedoms and destroy our economy. So if you were put off by Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign or couldn't believe how popular Bernie Sanders' socialist platform was? Just wait. This 2020 candidate will out-liberal anything you've ever seen. A new, incredibly powerful hidden force will practically guarantee that she wins. And the steps she'll take during her first 100 days in office will send our nation into one of the worst financial crises in history, creating a nightmare for baby boomers. So that's really not saying anything. I mean, this is a financial offer, and it really is doing nothing except piquing your curiosity as much as possible. But these kind of curiosity, shock-based ones, like I said, they do work very, very, very well. This is another one I saw recently. So the subject line: strange water hack melts 1 to 2 pounds per day. Over 160,000 women and men all over the world are using a simple and secret water hack to drop up to 1 to 2 pounds per day. Here's how to do it yourself. Grab a clear glass and fill it half full, and then do this strange hack. So they're not telling you what it is. They're not giving you any idea what the heck you have to do. All you know is it has something to do with water, and you can lose up to 1 to 2 pounds a day. You get a little bit here where it's something you do before bed. But, yep, Kim said it seems like a heavy dose of fear in there too. Yep, for the Michelle Obama one, there definitely was. Yeah, a lot of curiosity. I mean, the curiosity is the thing that really, really drives all these. The curiosity is what drives the subject line. It's what drives the copy, what drives the picture to kind of get you to click through. So like pictures like this are really, really curiosity based. This one as well, it's talking about this dairy thing that can help you poop out more fat, and that looks kind of interesting. Like, what the heck is that? Yeah, so you're just piling on more and more curiosity just to get them to click through. Does anyone have any questions right now?
I just want to get on my soapbox for a second on the images, because I think everything you shared is really important, but I see so many people neglecting images, and whether that's like they're not including images at all in emails, and especially on curiosity-driven emails, or they're typing in weird plant in Google, and they're finding one of like the first 5 results, which I've seen like 100 different times, and other people have seen like 100 different times, and they're just using that. And like really just taking the time to like find like unique images like that, and ones that you haven't seen before, and ideally, you're studying the market, you're on email lists, you're seeing what's coming out, and find something that's like good but not overused. And I think that's just key too, because I've seen like the same couple of weird plants, or like the fruit that looks like it has teeth or whatever it is, right? And so you see that like so many times again and again. But it's a massive difference. I mean, the image alone, right? I don't know, so another 10 to 20% click-through rate probably. I mean, increase, if not more.
I mean, we a lot of the ones that I tested back in the day when I was testing a lot of these, I mean, I saw upwards of 40 to 50% increase in revenue made from these emails. If you hit a really good kind of image, like you could literally get 50% boost in conversions, which, I mean, that's the difference between the offer working and it not working.
100%. For Matt's question about the images of play button are great for, landers, but what about text sales pages? What I do, and Justin, I don't know what you do, is I have a similar looking button that basically is just it's like a read more button. I'm going to put it into like a Google Drive and I'll share it with you guys. But it's basically like, can I put files into the chat? Oh, I can. I'll upload it into here and I'll show you what I do, Matt. And then, yeah, you'll see that. But Justin, I don't know if you do something different for text sales letters, but that's what I do.
Honestly, I would test them as well, because while it seems like you should only do this to a VSL, adding the pictures with the play button still works on long form sales pages as well.
Cool. Yeah, check out the image I just popped into the chat there. So I'll put those on top of an image for text sales letters. And I've tested some other ones too, like an orange read more button, which I'll also pop into here. You guys should be seeing them come through, and like click to learn more, things like that. But for me, the first one I just read, that red button that's looks like a play button but says read more, because then you're conditioned still to like click it because it looks like a play button, but it says read more, so you're not pissed like you feel like you got honey potted because it's saying to read more. So it might be worth testing that.
Do you see one of those working better
It's
than
not
another,
showing.
Stefan?
Is it not showing in the chat?
No.
It says.
Oh, I see it on my end, and I'm on an old computer today. Do you see one of those, Stefan, working better than another? Or does it depend on the offer?
The first one I shared is generally my go-to, and I found that one works the best when we tested it.
Because it has the play button in it?
Yeah, the play button type thing.
Gotcha.
Dan says, yeah, I've had success using a text link that says read more under the read more button for people with images off. Yeah, that's a good strategy too, Dan. Justin, you want to go to Kim's question here? She said, you talk about controlling things more for VSL, but do you always include the opt-out option for the transcript sales page? What % of visitors do you find go straight to the transcript?
Do you always include the opt-out? Yeah, if I'm rolling with a VSL, the transcript will always be when they're trying to leave or click out kind of option.
So you don't do it like the standard, like, in a hurry, read the transcript?
I don't. I'd be curious. Allison from Golden Hippo, I think she's on. Allison, what do you guys do on yours?
Hey, we actually don't normally test text versions. We pretty much roll exclusively with the VSL. We've tested it on a few, but I don't think it ever really takes as well.
So you don't even offer the option to read it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. But I mean, your guys' VSLs are also put together in a way that I don't know how well they would really translate to text.
Yeah, I mean, we do formatted letters for like launching back-end products, and those always win versus just a regular old order page. But yeah, we haven't tried it on some of our like scaling front-end offers.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, obviously all the Agora companies pretty much all have the option to read when you try to leave the VSL. Kim, does that answer your question?
Pretty much. I was curious. Matt Challens responded that they have typically 60% of people go to the transcript, or is he saying 60% of the conversions are from transcript?
Yeah, I think that.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I guess my question is, like, if a huge percent are just leaving as soon as they see it's a VSL and then going to transcript, you're not really controlling. I was just curious, like, what your experience is with that. Like, do you find with different audiences, are they more receptive to really sticking with the VSL?
I mean, it's weird because it really depends too it really depends what traffic source you're going from. So like, I feel like Stefan has tons of success with long form text sales letters. Then you look at someone like Golden Hippo and it's like, they're all VSLs. If you're planning on running a lot of just email traffic, which a lot of the offers Stefan writes for tend to run a lot of email or they run a lot of Facebook, then you can get away with just the text one. If you're ever going to do like native, you pretty much have to have a VSL for native. I've never seen long form text ones work on native. Yeah, I mean, I think it really does depend. And I mean, we've talked about this a couple times where like, if you're going to scale it to huge astronomical numbers, you're probably going to have multiple. You'll maybe need a text sales page for, maybe that's working for you on Facebook. And then if you want to start running native, it needs to switch into a VSL. Stefan, you want to chime in at all?
Yeah, I agree with that. I hate when the answer is like, you got to test it. But for this one, it really kind of is, because I've seen it all over the place. I agree with Justin. The one thing I've never really seen is like text sales letters working for native. I've just never, I maybe like one time, like a couple of years ago, but it's almost always advertorial or pre-sell to a VSL for native. But yeah, Facebook, we do text sales letters all the time that go great. And then, yeah, to Matt and like other Matt's point, not the other Matt, I think it was Matt Schubrick, right? Saying it depends on the list, the time of day, Curiousity lead, which I know that's true too, because I know Andrew Raposo, who does, at times like over 1,000 front ends a day, a couple of 1,000 front ends a day. I know for a while he was doing, I think, like text sales letters during the week and then VSLs during the weekend. because like during the week, he figured people were at work and you can have it up on your screen and be reading it. But if your boss comes, you just switch tabs or you do whatever. And so like, you're not, he found that the conversions, that was his magic formula that he was doing for a while. But then on the weekend, when people are at home and they're at their own computer or they have more time, they're more likely to watch video sales letters. I think that was primarily on email traffic and a little bit of Facebook traffic too. So I know it's a long bunch of, it depends, but that's kind of the answer on this one, I think.
Dan said, I've had success using the text link that says read more. So he's talking about the emails. Cool. Anybody else questions? Like I said, this was a relatively short kind of training, but I want to keep these kind of bite-sized and short. So I'm not teaching curiosity emails and then story-based emails and then others type of emails all in the same day and just overwhelming you, because that ain't going to help. Anybody else questions? Let's do some questions. Maria said, do you keep the shock emails shorter? Yeah, they definitely are usually shorter, because the key to the shock emails is just getting the click. So if you look at all these, so this water one, really, really short. This one's a little longer, but still, I would say relatively short, maybe medium length. This one, obviously super short. Same with that one. That one's I would say this one's a little more medium length. But as you can see, none of them are really like long. I think that really helps if you're not really giving away any meat in these. You're just trying to drum up the curiosity as much as possible. Yeah, that's kind of a gross looking picture.
I have a question on that, because I think we may have talked about that before, but I know like what I tell people is like, you want weird curiosity images that are kind of like WTF images is what I call them. But you don't want to get so gross that people are kind of repulsed and turned off, because that's the one thing I see people do, where they go to do one, but it's a picture of like an insect burrowing into somebody's skin or just something really like icky. And I'm like, I don't think that. I think normally you're gonna get like probably like, complaints and unsubscribes and like spam complaints, but I don't think people necessarily respond to that. I think that maybe there's a weird segment that like likes really gory, gross stuff, but I think in general they don't. But I was curious if you've seen the same thing, Justin, or if you have any kind of internal framework or guideline for that.
My biggest thing with the images is if you have any data from anywhere else that you're testing images or banners that like let's say, I don't know, you're running them on native or you're running them somewhere else on like a banner network, and which images or banners work, literally all you have to do is take the ones that work and just plop them right into your email creative. Like there's no use like trying to figure out something else. Like just literally use the ones that work, because from all the testing I've done, the ones that work the best somewhere else, they work the best in email as well.
It makes sense. And yeah, Kim said there were a lot of poop direct mail promos for a time that got really gross, and once your products are gross and testing images, and it all worked. So that's good to know. Yeah, I guess one thing too, Justin had mentioned, I mean, I know what I've done in the past is like, and I don't really write as many of my own creatives anymore. Occasionally I will, but not as often. But especially for Hoyland Health and other things, I'd use either AdBeat or like What Runs Where, and I'd find like that's what I would use as spy tools, and you'd find the ads that have like a lot of traction or volume, and then I'd find those images that are working, and you can steal them that way. So just for, I guess, everyone on the call, like those are two tools I've used. Obviously, AdBeat is owned by Mike Colella, who's a Copy Accelerator member, so support AdBeat. But whatever tools, I don't know if anyone else uses interesting tools as well, but those are two things. I mean, even Facebook now, you can look at big companies, look at their best ads and stuff like that too.
Yep. Anybody else questions on either this topic or just kind of an open Q&A if you have any questions on anything?
If you don't have an answer, that's cool. But do you have like a like you kind of had a process with the news, like the topical news emails? Do you have any kind of like process for determining, I guess, like you said, the uniqueness of the curiosity angle, or like which angles you're gonna test versus others?
No, I mean, for this, it's more, I feel like it's almost kind of like how you look at coming up with like big ideas or like really good big ideas. When someone tells you it, you're like, oh, fuck, I should have thought of that. That's great. Like you just know it when you hear it. The same way, like when I read this one, the 71-year-old woman poops out 48 pounds of stored fat. Like as soon as I read it, I'm like, that's great. Like it's very obvious that like that's going to work. And I honestly have no idea how this offer is doing, but I keep seeing it over and over and over again on every health list that I'm on. So it's obviously working. Yeah, I mean, this one literally, like, think about it, like, it literally did not change anything from a standard kind of email about a woman losing 48 pounds, except it changed from losing it to poop out 48 pounds of fat. That's literally all it did. It's just that little change made it so much more kind of tantalizing and really ramped up the curiosity. Amy asked, do the borderline gross image emails work better than the super short ones with just a link? I've never personally tested like super gross stuff, so I could not tell you. But yeah, I mean, like a lot of it, it's really obviously you got to test, but I always go back to if you have banners that are working somewhere else, or images that are working somewhere else that you know work, literally just you can cut the time way down by just using those. Anything, I mean, the image, the big thing with the image is really just provoking the curiosity. So they're like, whoa, what is that? And boom, click. Like that's the instant kind of reaction you want.
Hey, Justin, let me share my screen for a second. I want to show something real quick to everybody. Cool. One other reason, and for we talk about like doing saving emails. Like these are from, I have like a folder that's like just like kind of different autoresponders, and I meant to search poop, but apparently I typed poops. But what's kind of interesting is if you go through here, like you'll see like, you know, kind of similar, obviously same offer that Justin showed of she accidentally ate this and lost a massive 48 pounds, which comes from poop it out belly. But then you've got, you know, ones like, is your big belly really a swollen colon? Poop out 1.13 pounds of fat per week, which got sent twice. The 64-year-old young woman poops out 38 pounds of stored fat, looks 20 years younger. Bacteria eats fat. 64-year-old woman one again. The swollen colon one again, which is interesting. 64-year-old woman again. Never be constipated again. So not that. Don't burn fat, poop it out, which I like. I think it's the same offer, but it's kind of interesting. More of the swollen colon ones. Poop out the fat. You've got, and I kept going, and this is going for a long time. Your belly fat poops out easily. How poop and pain, ask for you, Justin, poop and pain. But poop 3x more belly fat at night, poop out fat, poop your belly fat out, your belly fat poops out easily. So the point is, like, I guess my point is just sort of like one reason why it's important to share or to save a lot of these like emails from people is because then you can go through and you can look and be like, okay, you see all the variants that people are sending. Over time, you start to, if you can kind of just do a search and I can find like, oh, that's an interesting email that Justin shared. Like, wow, I found 10 other variants, and I can see which ones got sent them most frequently and over how much time. And that kind of helps give me an idea of which one was the best of all of those. So that's just another argument for wanting to, like, you know, for making sure you guys are collecting other people's emails and getting on lists. And then I know, Alec, you said, can you share your top email list you're on? Yeah, I will. It's just like, I honestly don't know how I'm on half of them. It's just people probably taking my data when I bought stuff in the past and like, you know, then like illegally repping and multiply me. But the best thing you can do is honestly too, though, just going on ClickBank and some other places where they have the top offers and just buy their products and then see what those people are mailing for too. Especially for health stuff. Like that's just like once you do that, you'll pretty much automatically start getting emailed different offers.
Yeah, I would just off the top of my head, Alternative Health Daily is probably, I would say, one of the best ones. Mike Geary's a partner in that company, and they just really do pretty amazing kind of copy and newsletters. I think you can just you can either just opt in or you can buy one that are cheap, like free plus shipping books. I use a lot of the examples like I used today. I just literally pull straight from their email list.
Sweet. Bo, thanks for that recommendation, Cam, on the past poop direct mail promos from Carolyn. Carolyn's, by the way, she's a killer copywriter. Justin and I have been talking about, look at, you got them with you. Yeah, you guys and everyone on the call, I would seriously go to her website. She's a total badass. So if you guys can check out some of her promos, look at that. Oh my goodness. I see Kim holding up direct mail pieces. Awesome. Cool. Other questions, you guys? Oh man. Oh my God, they don't stop. Love it. Yeah, anyone else?
Cool. Let's we'll wrap up for today. Luca will get this call up and in the members area, and I'll make sure all the emails I shared are in a Word doc or a PDF doc so that you guys can have them. Any questions in the meantime, or if you want feedback on anything, feel free to pop it in the Facebook group. Stefan and I will get to it. I know I plan on getting in there later today and answering a bunch of the stuff that came in over the last day or so. So we'll get to that.
Yep.
Stefan, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
No, that's the big things. All right, let me stop because I always say no and then add something. But nothing major. We're gonna. I just added someone named Brooks to the Copy Accelerator Facebook group. Brooks is a friend of mine. He's owned some health offers that actually did quite well, and he's done some other really cool stuff. And we're bringing him on to help with a couple of different roles, including like operational stuff. But a big part of it's going to be for the client experience and the member experience for you guys. So over time, we're actually meeting with Brooks and Blake from our team as well in San Francisco this weekend. But Brooks will be introducing himself, and then we'll be working on stuff like from feedback and getting your guys' like surveys about what you like and what you don't like, and then just like different things that will help to enhance your experience more. So I don't know if Brooks has even actually joined the group yet, but just if you start seeing the guy coming in and like seeming really happy and wishy, like happy feely and wanting to make your guys' experience even better, that's Brooks. So make sure you do say hi to him as well.
Cool, man. So we're going to hop off now. If you're in the platinum group, we will come back at, let's say 49 after, and we will start the platinum call then. Until then, we will see you guys all next week.
Okay. Thanks, guys.